Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife and Resources Agency.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on this October the 21st, which is third Saturday. And Frank Barton is in studio. Our friend John Gordon is out west, seeing family out in Colorado. But we've asked one of my favorite people to sit in because he's about ready to talk fishing. That's David Beal, and the Basset Man. And David Beal, I want you to listen to this next guy because the way you've got passion for what you do, there's no doubt of me that David Magness has passion for what he does too. So good morning, David Magness. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. How you doing?
Well, I'm hanging on, David. I'm hanging on. This is not where I want to be. I'd rather be in the studio. But David was at the commission meeting a couple of weeks ago and got a chance to hear his plea for a program that I think is pretty cool. So explain, first of all, David he's the owner of Catting Around Guide Service. And what he does, he's into tagging catfish. So, David, tell us about this, what you're doing.
All right, I'm actually tagging at the moment for the Mississippi Department of Wildlife, and I guide catfish trips on the Mississippi River, basically from Memphis, Tennessee to Helena, Arkansas. And we started a program 3 years ago, and we're tagging catfish that are 20 pounds and bigger.
Okay.
And simply all we do is we insert two tags, one on each side of the dorsal fin.
Right.
That tag has a 1-800 number to the Department of Wildlife, and then it also has a tag number. Well, I record the data. I record the date, the species of the catfish, the weight, the length, and the coordinates to where I released the fish.
Uh-huh.
So we take every effort possible to release these fish healthy, and hopefully what we're trying to find out is somebody down the road will catch that fish, call in that tag number, and maybe we can gain a little information, how much the fish grew in a certain period of time.
And the distance it covered.
Man, yeah. And I'll inject this in right quick. We've had one called in. I tagged that fish in the Tunica, Mississippi area in November of 21.
Uh-huh.
That fish was caught Memorial Day of 22 in St. Louis, Missouri.
Wow.
You hear that, David Beal?
I'm listening, man. That's amazing.
So that's just some things that, that's kind of, I would have never dreamed the fish would travel that far, but they do. They do.
And that's actually upstream.
Yeah, upstream.
Yeah.
Those powerful fish. There's no such thing as upstream, downstream. They just go, and
they just do.
And you've been doing this for a while, so talk about what you brought before the commission, because you'd like to tag some fish Memphis and north, right?
I would, and that's what I was speaking to the commission about, was just seeing if maybe they would have any interest in doing a program similar to this, because I do probably 50% of my guide trips are out of the Memphis area.
They are,
and
yeah.
Man, it's a lot of fish that I have to put back that I can't tag.
You can't tag, yeah.
That's right. So I just was just soliciting their blessing maybe to take a look at allowing a tagging program on the river, because we see that it don't matter, because that fish that I tagged in Mississippi, that dude swam all the way through Tennessee, headed to St. Louis. So we know we can't contain them, but I'm very interested in this program, and I love when somebody calls in and I can say, well, I tagged that fish and it's traveled 85 miles and that kind of thing, and it's just pretty neat to keep up with, and it's good for customers. When I have my clients on the boat, and especially kids, man, if you can catch a fish that those kids can tag, that is the grandest thing in the world. And those kids,
Yes.
And I even go a step further on my paperwork. I'll write down. I keep a file myself also of all the fish.
You log it all, don't you? Yeah.
I do, and I put down the customer's name that caught the fish. And in turn, if that fish is caught and turned in, I'll call that customer back and say, hey, you remember that fish we caught 3 years ago? Well, that dude was caught 449 miles.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
From where we caught him at, So
yeah. And you had one that went to St. Francis River, so you've had them.
That fish went about 85 miles, and we tagged it in the Mississippi River, and it got in the St. Francis River during floodwaters, and it made its way almost to Mark Tree, Arkansas.
Amazing.
I had the privilege to talk to the angler that actually caught it, and he said he was about 8 miles south of Mark Tree, Arkansas. And
wow. Yeah.
So that fish, it swam through some bushes and ditches and all kind of stuff to get where it was going.
So what's this passion about, David? And I know David Beal, I'd like to know too. Undoubtedly, you love catfishing, and catfishing is exploding. I think more and more people. We got tournaments and all this kind of stuff, and so is the passion there of just
yes,
catching a big
is,
fish?
and I've had this passion for catfish since I was a kid. Daddy brought me up on little small river tight lining, and it just graduated into the Mississippi River in my high school years, and then in the last 15 years I got into the trophy catfishing, trying to catch the big ones, and but Larry, the catfishing is one thing, the river is another. That old river got in my blood. I can't tame it. I can't master it. I can't figure it out.
I must agree.
That old girl will throw you a curveball, and it's an ongoing challenge. It never ends.
It is. Yeah.
And
how
man,
about that, David Beal? That's a passion you, right, David?
It is, and I wanted to ask Magness, what's the most exciting? Is it the rod and the reel on your cats, or is it the trot lining? What have you ever trot lined or jug?
Years and years ago, I have trot lined and done some throw lines, but the last
right now you're a
15
boat man.
plus years is totally rod and reel, and man, it's nothing. Sitting in a deer stand and watching a mountable trophy class 8-point walk out.
Tell me about it.
No different than a 45-pound blue cat trying to jerk it out of your hand.
All right. So,
oh my goodness.
Yeah, and right now,
and it'll get to you.
Right now, okay. So speaking of which, the Mississippi River is at a all-time low.
Yeah,
it's at a record low at a -11 right now. So, what are some of the strategies that you're using right now, David, to try to get that going on catching those cats in locations?
Right now, here lately, I've been catching the fish, and with the water being so low, that also equates to the current being extremely mild, and it's actually some areas there in the river that's got some really deep pockets of basically no current.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been finding these fish staged in that slack to no current area and just dropping bait straight down off the side of the boat. Put the rods horizontal in a rod holder and drop them straight down and just take the trolling motor, reel up off the bottom about waist high off the bottom.
That's right.
And take the trolling motor and just kind of bump around in that hole. And, man, when they hit it, they'll jerk that rod tip plumb down in the water.
Is it mostly is it mostly eddies? Is it mostly kind of like you fishing eddies?
Yep. The eddies, where you have the reverse currents behind the cut back in the bank, or anything like that, where you have basically a change.
Yeah.
Right. Because it's definitely a negative low.
I got to ask you that, David. Captain Matt, what about equipment? What do you use?
I use B&M rods, and they've got a line of catfish rods, and I use several different model of rods for the different techniques that I do. And big reels, 80-pound braid line, 50-pound mono leaders, and I use Boss Cat hooks. Been using those hooks for years, and they're flawless.
Well, what do people do?
But it's heavy duty stuff, you know.
It's heavy duty stuff, and I like your name, Catting Around. So that's pretty easy to remember. So talk to our listeners. I know, Frank, you're probably going to say this, but tell our listeners how to get in touch with you.
All righty. I've got a website, which is cattingaroundguideservice.com.
Okay.
Also, a phone number of 901-356-1008. I do have a Catting Around Facebook page. I have a personal Facebook page of David Magness.
Yeah, I've looked it up, man. There's some big fish on that page.
Yeah, we've added a few more to it in the last couple of weeks.
You have. I've been keeping up with it ever since we met at the commission meeting. And I don't know. I've already had one hernia operation. I don't know if I can have another one. So when you're doing that,
we can keep you sitting down and put a rod in your lap. I can do like I do kids, you know. I let them hold one end of the rod and reel, and I'll put my hand up in front of the reel and help them support the weight of the fish, and we'll get him in. What
kind of boat? I got to ask you before I let you go. What are you fishing out of?
I fish out of a Sea Arc Pro Guide, which is a 26-foot boat. It's set up for 6 people,
6
wide,
people.
stable, and probably the most awesome boat I've ever fished out of. I absolutely love it.
Well, you need
what color is it?
Yeah, what color?
It is. Well, when I bought it, it was battleship gray and black, a black stripe down the middle. But I do have a wrap on it that kind of looks like it's about the color of concrete with all kind of cracked up black lines in it.
Okay.
And, of course, I've got sponsors and stuff all down the side of it, but pretty neat looking boat. I get a lot of compliments on it. I sure do.
Well, David, Captain David, I hope to get with you sometime. Got your number. We got to get in touch with you, and we'll stay in touch and just have a great weekend. And we'll talk to you down the road. Okay, man?
Yes, sir. I appreciate you guys sincerely, and thank you for the opportunity.
All right, David. Let's take a break on Outdoors with Larry Ray. The voice is about gone, but we're about to fly down.